Hey, so this time I'm going to be doing a run in the tower with the Spitmaw blaster after I did my last one with the carbine, and before that I had used the sidearm. This is probably the weapon like in my head, I feel like would be the most difficult to use in the tower, especially after phase 5 when enemies start countering you with projectiles, since you have to be so close to them usually with the Spitmaw. But, the Spitmaw does have a lot of positive qualities, and, maybe I think some of them in this playthrough did end up getting showed, so as we get through it, until I find the Spitmaw, you'll just have to suffer me using the sidearm again, the starting sidearm. But it doesn't take me too long to find a Spitmaw in this run through, so until then. Just trying to get into the tower really quickly. You can see I have the mine ability right now, which this isn't the only ability like this, but the mine ability's like damage scaling is a little messed up in that like your weapon's damage stat doesn't actually increase the amount of damage the mine does, which doesn't really matter that much early in the floors because it's still plenty strong. But it's a little weird that other alternate fires they can increase your secondary fire's damage, but for some reason that's not true for the mine. It's also not true for the blast shell, like the grenade secondary fire you might be able to get. Yep. So I just clear these enemies really quick. I did take a hit, but whatever, it's fine. Like I said, I'm not here to like retry or like keep resetting until I get like perfect starts. So I just go with how it is. Electro pylon driver. Can't use that for this playthrough. Eventually I will get to that weapon, along with all the other ones hopefully, because I think all weapons are pretty unique and they have a lot of cool qualities that you can see throughout different runs. But, for now, early floors of the tower, there's a lot of turrets, there's a lot of Kerberons, which are the little dog dudes, a lot of easy one-hit kills. Kerberons are a little annoying because you have to, they're so low to the ground, but you can still get jumping aerial melee kills on them for the most amount of points. You'll see every now and then, I'm just still shooting to make sure that I keep, like, my homing shots keep refreshing my multiply cooldown on the right to make sure that doesn't go down. And now here, like, I'm not doing a very good job, but like my point is, since these Strixia, these types of the Strixia, which are the basic ones, not the Strixia, not the Proto Strixia, they're really easy to stun with just shooting them like a little bit typically stuns them. So like if you see, like you might see maybe this guy shooting the blue shots, hopefully, maybe not, but you can see like every now and then, like, see I shoot him once and then he stops charging laser, which is good to know for these enemies in particular. These are some of the easier enemies to stun in the game. So like you don't always have to hide behind cover if like that's happening, and if you like, well, obviously you can kill them, but if you want to get the melee kill, you can just shoot them once. And sometimes even your homing shots are enough to just stun them. Yep, that was the Dreadbound, I believe. Still can't pick it up. I got the full heal there. And then I'm going to grab the shield here. Then just continue up. Yep. Alright, so there's a Pyloid. I killed the Machina enemy first because I've mentioned this, several times already. I'm sure I repeat myself a lot. But, once you come back to this room after doing this bonus room, all enemies that would have spawned would have already spawned by then. So I just want to clear as many as I can. A little sad I got hit by that. That should have been easy for me to see coming. I fought these enemies tons of times, but I guess I'm still rusty because I did the carbine playthrough after a long time, and now I'm doing this one, so I'm still not like as good at dealing with enemies whose patterns I should be very used to by now. Anyway, take him out. Didn't take too much damage. Got the full heal. See an electropile driver, can't take it, and then take the energy manipulator, which is pretty nice. I used to think it's not that useful, but it's actually pretty good. If you use an item, it increases your protection by 10%. By like 10 for a while. I think it's like 10 or 15 seconds, maybe a little more, I'm not sure. 10% isn't a ton, and it is only when you use, I don't know what I said, but it's when you use a consumable, I should say. I'm not sure if that's what I actually said. When you use a consumable, it'll increase your protection. So, you know, there are times that, like, if you're going into a room or you see a room's gonna be dangerous, you could just pop like a Disgorger, which for one are really powerful weapons, but then you'll also get the benefit of having 10% extra protection. And then, like I said before, because protection scales so heavily once it's high, it can really make a difference between you taking like decent damage or you taking very little damage. As long as you have enough other protection things. Anyway, there's my first Disgorger. I got an Absolution Disgorger. Not like it matters because it's going to switch. Like the Disgorger I have on my item bar is going to change a ton until like before I end up using my first one. Pick up the Silphium, which didn't look like I was even hurt, but I grabbed the Silphium because it wasn't a resin for some reason. See what weapon this is. Is this a Spitmaw? It is not. Coil Spine Shredder. Grab some money, grab some resin. And I believe here I got a really good artifact. If I remember. Yep, resin and shield. Probably the best artifact for survivability. Is, well, it depends. Later in this run it ends up not being that good because I can't seem to keep full health. But basically, whenever you pick up a resin, you'll get one free shield. You can't get more than one of those shields stacked, like you can for like the shield item that I have on the bottom left. But it's a very easy way to refresh a free hit on the shield. As long as you can remain at max HP, you'll end up coming across resin quite a lot. So if the hits you take are only the hits that are eating your resin and shield, or if you heal back up to full and you find more resin and just take it, then it can be very easy to like block a lot of hits you would have taken with the resin and shield. Yeah, last time I didn't do this, but when you're in this room, you should break these 4 middle statues on each side because they do give you money, like I just did there. Anyway, you'll see I picked up the resin, and now I have the resin and shield on the left, which looks very nice. Yeah, I'm trying to break the statue with the mine, not realizing that the mine just bounces off the statue, doesn't explode off of it like it would off of like this guy. Yeah, see, I use mine there, it just instantly explodes. Doing better against this guy. I think I still get hit here though. Yeah, I dashed too early, kill him, and then I get hit again from the purple waves, which you can't dash through. But not like I get mad at it, I wasn't dashing at the moment anyway. Get the Quad Swim Disgorger, get the reactive stabilizers, which are nice. Wait too long and see my multiplier start going down. Right, okay. Break these statues real quick, which unfortunately with the starting pistol takes half a clip to break the statue. It takes 6 bullets with the starting pistol to break the statue. As long as you don't have any damage up, or as long as you don't have too much damage up. Grab the damage up augment, working towards those 4 augments so I can start getting my protection up. I'll leave the artifacts and I'll leave the integrity augment. The integrity augment because like you're gonna slowly build integrity over playthrough anyway. Grab the silver lattice, which is nice. It makes it so like frost effects and like the green goop slowdown effects don't slow me down anymore. And get the Spitmaw. This time I get rapid. I think I'll pull up in the menu, but I get rapid spitter and wide maw. Rapid spitter just means I can hold on the trigger to shoot, and the higher the rapid spitter, the faster it will automatically shoot. At rapid spitter 1, it seems to shoot pretty much exactly as fast as you can spam the trigger anyway. But at rapid spitter 2 and 3, it shoots much faster than it would normally. So yeah, once you're at higher levels, if I find a high level one, you'll see that like my rapid spitter is making me shoot the shotgun very quickly. Wide maw, it makes it so that the spread of the Spitmaw is even worse than normal, but it does a lot more damage. Granted, it only does a lot more damage if you're very close to the enemy. It does very bad damage if you're too far away, especially with a low effective range stat, which on this weapon it's okay, my effective range stat, but it's not super high. But, you know, it's still better than my starting pistol, that's for sure, so I'm glad I have it. And, you know, one thing the Spitmaw is very good at, very, very good at, is staggering enemies, which is super helpful for me trying to set up melee kills. And it's very easy to hit enemies if you just point in the general direction. I'm missing there, but if you just point in the general direction and hit them, it's very easy to hit enemies, so it's very easy to, like, keep your multiplier up without accidentally killing the enemy if you're far away enough. Grab this room, get the free money, and I believe I do use the that little middle random item for 75 opalites. It gives you like about 100 opalites, these rooms, and then you can spend 75 of them to get a random item, and then every item you get after that costs 50 more than the last one. I believe I only go for 1. Get an interference sphere, which is, you know, fine. It's a nice way to disable turrets. I don't end up using it here. I got blasted right in the face with the frost turret. Yeah. So I like to go this way because there's enemies without a shield here. If I went for the shielded enemy on the top right, then I would have gotten there after my multiplier started going down. I really having trouble hitting this guy, which is really frustrating me. Yeah. There we go. And then this one I want to hit really quick before my multiplier starts going down. There we go. And then again right here. So right now I'm at 1 million. Clearly not the 247 million of my record, but that's okay. Like I said, you know, if I beat my record, if I PB, that's great. But you know, it's mostly just for fun and to go through and try different weapons. And you know, these kind of playthroughs are more restricted than the normal playthrough, because normal playthrough I would just use whatever I feel like is best at the moment. This one I'm going through it. I'm like, nope, can only use a Spitmaw. Yeah, this is one of the choice rooms. Light it up. I'll grab the Discorder at the top, and then I'll take the path below where I am right now to get the health and resin. I pretty much always go for the health and resin on these paths, because the other one, the proficiency isn't something I really prioritize, because you reach max proficiency in these playthroughs pretty quickly. Recharging overload, I take that. Overload is just like the active time quick reload system, and since the Spitmaw only ever has 6 bullets, it never has more than that. This Spitmaw is one of the only weapons. I don't think if it's the only one, but it's one of the only ones at the very least that you cannot increase the clip size for. There is no stat on the weapon, and there's no trace on the weapon that you can get that will give it more than 6 bullets. It only ever has 6 bullets. There is a way to make the clip last longer, with the backsplash ability, which you will see in this run, but it still only has a clip size of 6, so it runs out of clip very fast, which means I'm reloading pretty often, especially if you have rapid spitter, like higher versions of rapid spitter, which means my secondary 5 cooldown can go down can recharge really quickly. See the Hollow Seeker, can't take that. Grab my shield and then start my first fight with August. Now level 1 Widemaw, I'm going to want to stay close to August if I want to do anything that's resembling decent damage. I could just use my Discorder, but you know, it's easy enough. I think I'll just try to fight him. I throw my mines. I think I might throw my mine eventually. But you know, trying to get close as I can to tickle him down with the Widemaw. And yeah, unfortunately, as close as I can get without like hovering over the pit, it's still not close enough to maximize the damage of the Widemaw. The Widemaw does a lot of damage, but from this range, its damage is, you know, pretty significantly nerfed. It's still, you know, doing noticeable damage, but yeah, I would like to get a better version of a Spitmaw very quickly. My stats on this one are very low. All my traits are level 1. I only have 2 traits. Yeah, you know, he's flying around. It's like, oh god, it's so hard to hit. Can't do any real decent damage. I'm trying to hit him with a mine, but he's strafing too quickly. I can't aim it quite right. But anyway, I take him out. I don't even sure if I got hit. I think I did get hit. I jump here. The reason why I jump before I get hit by the malfunction wave thing is because Celine gets up right away if you get hit by it in midair. But if you get hit with it while Celine's staying on the ground, it takes her a lot longer to get up. So I just do that to hurry up. I think I break the video here. Oh, maybe I take it first. I'll break the video in a second. Let me see. Well, eventually. There it goes. Okay. Yeah. So again, I'm doing that just to make sure that, you know, if I have any problems during recording, it's less likely to happen if my video segments are much shorter. And I believe what happened before is that, like, I had way too long of a segment. My computer isn't very good, so it couldn't handle it, and it kind of just broke. So yeah, that's why I break up the recordings. All right. So can't take that. Break these statues. See if I get any enemies out of them. I think in this playthrough, like, I never find an enemy in any of these statues, which is pretty rare. Usually, I find at least 1 or 2. Alright. Get a lot of the kills here. Yeah, I did lose my resonance shield right then, but luckily it was just a resonance shield, which is the most easily replaceable. There's some resin right there, replaced it, so it's as if I never got hit. Start shooting to buy me more time before I have to hit the enemy. Always a good idea, and like luckily if you have any adrenaline, you can always just randomly shoot with any weapon, because at least your homing shots will go out and seek enemies, and you can just use that to keep refreshing your multiplier timer. Increase my max integrity here. Find a new weapon. What it's going to be? It's going to be a Hollow Seeker. I will ignore it. And then I see more turrets right away, and I see the enemy spawning out of Lamiodons, which are nice because they're some of the easier enemies to deal with. They have no ranged attack. So still having trouble hitting them, but you know, get a few down. As long as you dodge, once they glow red, as long as you dodge a little bit after they glow, or glow orange, I guess, they lock onto your current position about like very early into that animation where they glow orange. So as long as you dodge right after that, then they're gonna completely miss you. I don't actually know how, like, that only works if you dodge. If you keep running, they'll hit you. So I'm actually, basically, like, for some reason when you dodge, they like lose track of you as long as you do it, you know, far enough into their animation, then you'll be fine. Trying to kill these guys. These are the Proto-Strixia I mentioned before. They look exactly the same as the Strixia, but they have two different attacks, and more annoyingly with them, they're not as easy to stun. Their stagger gauge is a lot harder to build up, so like unlike other weapons when you can basically just hit them with like your little homing shots that come out because you have enough adrenaline, that doesn't really work on these guys. If you want to stagger them, you have to hit them with a more substantial attack. I'm talking about the flying dudes. Yeah, I'm really in it here. Still have 2 shields somehow after like being in the middle of all that. Luckily, using your melee does come with iframes, which is part of the reason why sometimes it looks like I should be getting hit. It's not like a very reliable iframe, I would say. Like, your dodge is much better at it, but sometimes you can get away with like attacking an enemy that's shooting or near bullets, because like the moment that your attack hits, your melee attack hits, you do have iframes. Anyway, I end up getting hit there eventually. We continue up. See a healing tower here, very far away. I just start shooting random things just to again keep the multiplier up, kill these small dudes. Accidentally blow that thing up. I meant to do it with a melee, but that's alright, not a huge deal. So yeah, like I said, I mean, these guys are super easy to stagger, so I guess this isn't a good example, but the Spitmaw is actually a very, it's a weapon that staggers enemies extremely quickly. I mean, these guys stagger from like looking at them funny, so I guess it's not a good example, but it can be good to like, even from a fair distance. I mean, this Spitmaw is quite bad, but even from a fair distance to like just shoot them and stagger them to stop their attack in the track. You'll notice, and I didn't do this last playthrough, but I should have been, these Trichozoid enemies, they only shoot, like the first time you meet them, they only shoot that blue shot that you're seeing right there. And then this purple shot here, they only start doing it after they're down to like 80% HP. So, you know, very quickly. If you damage them only a little bit, they'll start doing the purple type shots instead of the blue one. And the purple ones are way harder to deal with because they move really slowly, they linger a long time, and they bounce off surfaces. The blue one is just sort of like a ring it releases that you can just dodge through and then not have to worry about it because they're not gonna linger near where you are, and they're not gonna bounce off surfaces or anything like that. So, like, if you get into a room with a lot of Trichozoid, it might be a good idea, if you can avoid it, don't shoot them until you're ready to kill them, because if you do, then a lot of like the purple shots will be lingering in the air, and those are way harder to deal with, in my opinion. Yeah, so I used one of my I forgot what it's called, but the sphere item types that disable these turrets, and then just take them out easily. I figure I might as well use them because eventually I'm expecting to find like large health items, and I can use those to use those as my third item slot. So like I don't want to hold on to the disabling turret items too long because eventually I'm gonna have to replace it anyway. Grab my little health, and then keep climbing up here to get my extra money to find a new weapon in a little bit past this, and then to see what artifact I get. Time this jump. Is this a new Spitmaw? I do get one eventually. Nope. Another coil spine. So adrenaline coolant reaches all fire cooldown by 1 second per adrenaline level. So, you know, great. My ult fire is just the mine, which is the shortest cooldown of the game. I think it's like 6 seconds. For a level 1 mine has like a 6-second cooldown. So, you know, it's not doing a whole lot. Like, it doesn't really matter much because, like, I mean, I guess right now my mine has a 1 second cooldown because adrenaline coolant level 5. But, like, you can see on the left, it recharged right away on the bottom left. But, you know, it's also level 1 mine is one of the worst secondary fires, in, you know, large part because it's level 1. So being able to recharge it that quickly isn't that big of a deal. I got the unfed pod, which is very nice. It can end up becoming very nice. I believe the unfed pod is the one that it gets me plus 20% stagger power for every parasite I have. So right now I have 0, but you know, you get a max of 5 parasites. And if you have 5 parasites and you have, like, it doubles your stagger power, assuming that the math is accurate, which, you know, I never tested it, but I'm gonna assume it is. And this Spitmaw already staggers things really easily, so it can just make it so that, I mean, it's good on any weapon, really, but it can just make it so you stagger enemies much more quickly. And staggering enemies is usually something you do want to do. There are a few situations, largely against, like, something like the Proto-Titan Ops, that gets a shield after you stagger it, that maybe sometimes you don't want to stagger it because it might prevent you from doing extra damage to it until the shield goes away. But most enemies, when you stagger them, if they're an enemy that can be staggered, it's just helpful. It's just a good thing to do. You know, it just pauses their attacks, and there's not really a downside for most of them. Sometimes there are some enemies that have unique attacks that they only do after they get staggered or immediately after they recover from a staggering animation. Or in the case of the severed and frost severed enemies, they have 2 new attacks that they get that they can use after the first time they've been staggered. But it's still, I would say, useful to stagger them, regardless. Just for the breathing room it gives you. Yeah, trying to get my melees on this. Yeah, didn't realize that my shot that close would kill him, but that's alright. Anyway, it's time to take down the severed. Yep, so he's staggered now, which means he gets 2 new attacks, which one of them is the I mean, I don't think you're gonna see it, but both the frost severed and the severed get the same new attack. You saw I switched there, but I switched back to Spitmaw right away. Get the same 2 new attacks after they've been staggered. One of them is that they get a little teleporting, like when they teleport, they can now teleport directly like next to you and instantly melee you. That's one of the new ones. And the other one's like this blade beam attack, where they like slash the sword twice and two projectiles come out of their blade that they attack you with pretty decent range. So the interesting thing on the frost severed, that not the version I just fought, but the frost severed version of that enemy, that blade beam attack actually doesn't work. Like, it does the animation and like the projectiles come out, but you can stand right next to him, get hit by the blade or get hit by the blade beam, and it just passes through Celine without even. It doesn't do anything. Now, I don't know if they changed that if they fixed on the PC version, but they certainly never fixed that on the PS5 version, which is the one I play. Yeah, this is me being frustrated because, like, I'm looking at the traits on that one. I'm like, wow, those are good traits. I wish I could pick up that weapon, but I can't. So I move on. I was like, wow, if I had got that early on in my last playthrough, that would have been cool when I was using the carbine. You see, like, I instantly, gyropods also stagger pretty easily, but, like, you know, I just sort of fire in its general direction, and sometimes it just gets staggered, which is nice. And you can also see me running through these frost fields, not being slowed down at all, which is nice because I have the silver lattice. Yep. Finish off the last shower pod and move on. Alright, this is a full heal and a shield floor. I already have full health, so I just got the resin, which gives me a shield, like a resinous shield. And then I grab the extra consumable shield. Now I'm at 5 consumable shields, so I'll have to start popping them as I find them from now on. I saw the Pyloid, but I want to quickly kill this thing. And then kill that guy. See what I get. I get a parasite room. So I don't have any parasites yet, so maybe like I'm hoping like these will be really good parasites that I can just take one and then move on. Fixes prevents one malfunction and then detaches afterwards and greatly increases my melee dash. That's awful. 20% chance not to lose consumable on use, which is amazing, but suffer damage when picking up items. So what I like to do is I just pick them both up and then I sell them both instantly. I don't think they're worth taking up one of my parasite slots right now. Yeah, here's me testing how long the cooldown is. You can see on the bottom left, this is how long it's taking to recharge. I'm like spamming it, like that's really slow. I'm just curious. I wasn't going to take it anyway. So get rid of that. And I just back to 0 parasites. Yeah. So like if I'm gonna take up one of my parasite slots, which the closer you get to 5, or once you get to 5, then that's when things start getting dangerous. That's why I like not to take either of them. Well, they're also not very useful, if I'm being honest. Like I wouldn't want to take them if I had infinite parasite slots. So yeah, I just sell them and get the money and move on. The not using consumable the chance of not using consumable 20% chance, which can go up to 25% if you have the Murmuring Cocoon, which I don't right now. That's a really good parasite, but the down effect of just taking damage when you pick up items, I definitely don't want that because the damage you take is pretty negligible, but the problem is it eats your shield. So like if you have a shield equipped and you pick up an item, it just eats the shield. So like, yeah, I'd rather avoid that whole. Like I'd rather not lose shield just because of picking up items. Like if you pick up health items, it doesn't hurt you, but if you pick up anything else, it does hurt you. Kill that guy, move on, see what weapon this is. It is not a Spitmaw, so yeah, you see me switching back and forth between weapons because if you notice my multiply cooldown on the right, it gives you, every time you pick up an item, it gives you a little bit extra time before the multiplier starts going down. So I just spam between like the weapons. I just keep picking up the 2 weapons like over and over again to give me more time before I have to like leave or hit an enemy. Sometimes you'll see me do that a few times if I'm like thinking for a second. Wound Seeker I really like. The extra 30% damage, I don't think it matters that much for your weapon because the extra 30% damage seems to only activate when an enemy's about at 25% health, which effectively is like less than 10% extra damage. Which is nice. It's something, but it's not that great. Why the Wound Seeker is really good is because it also works on your melee attacks. It's one of the few things that actually directly affect your melee attacks too. And melee attacks, if it's not a one-hit melee kill anyway, you tend to want to do melee attacks either 1 to stagger the enemy or 2 to finish off an enemy. And so you're probably finishing off an enemy when they're already below like quarter health. So your melee, instead of doing 60, like what's 25% of 60? I think it'll do 75 or something like that. And then so like that's great. You'll get like extra damage on melee attacks for enemies that are almost dead. And again, that stacks with the fact that like you do triple damage the first time you attack the staggered enemy during that staggering animation with the melee. So it'll be 180 plus, with 45 extra damage, I believe. So your melee will do 225 damage instead of 180. So that's why like I think Wound Seeker is actually quite good. Is basically because it can make it easier for you to get the melee kill. Anyway, there is a Spitmaw here. I pause to see what it does. This is much better. Rapid Spitter 2, Critical Stagger, Narrow Maw 3, and Acid Clouds. So yeah, good weapon. Like you'll see now. Even now, I'm going to shoot much faster. There we go. Critical Stagger. I'm not sure what it does. When I posted my weapons video, I mentioned straight up in the weapon video, like I actually don't know what it does because I tried testing it a lot. The description says, I think something along the lines of it deals additional damage to staggered enemies. Now, my thought of how that translates was that if you shoot an enemy that is staggered with the Spitmaw, you'll do more damage. Now, as far as I could tell from the testing, that wasn't the case at all. And I tested for a while, and I was getting frustrated. I can't tell. Someone in the video eventually told me, someone in a Reddit thread that saw my video told me they told me that they think what it actually does is the moment that you do stagger an enemy with the Spitmaw, that they take like a chunk of damage at that moment. So like if I was to hit an enemy that wasn't staggered and then they become staggered because of the Spitmaw, that they're going to take an extra chunk of damage at that moment. Now that could very well be true. Like that's a good thought, and I was thankful for that person for suggesting that. I can't remember what they're called. It was like a year ago. But that's it's very possible that's what it does, and I'd like to test that later if I could. I should have tested it here, but I didn't want to like clog up like some of this since I knew this video was going to go on YouTube. I didn't want to clog it up with like me slowly testing something like that. So I don't. Yeah. Anyway, you can see I have Rapid Spitter too, and it shoots like at double the speed that the rate of fire that my other one was. So like it just makes your Spitmaw way better. I think Rapid Spitter is pretty. It's like a trait that you really kind of always want on the Spitmaw. I also have Narrow Maw. I think Narrow Maw 3, which makes it so that you can pretty much just use it from long range. The damage drop off, I believe, is significantly reduced if you have Narrow Maw. Anyway, I'm going to switch it for this one. Rapid Spitter 3, Slugshot 3, Black Splash 3, and Acid Class 2. But anyway, if I did keep Narrow Maw, the nice thing about it is that you can shoot it from really far away and the damage drop off is really minimal. But I don't have it. Anyway, now I have Slugshot instead of Narrow Maw. So like you can see in the middle of my shotgun, there's like a little, like one extra shot that goes down the middle of my sight. That does decent damage. Now I have Rapid Spitter 3, so I shoot very quickly, and I have Backsplash 3. What Backsplash does is if all your attacks hit an enemy, there's a chance that you'll just get the bullet back right away. So you can see I keep shooting, and my ammo keeps going slightly back up, and I'm not running out. And there's also a glitch. I assume it's a glitch that you might have just saw there. Yeah, I'm taking down Albus really fast now compared to my last time. If you run out of ammo anyway while you have Backsplash, but then your shot that's in mid-air hits the enemy and triggers you getting the extra ammo, it will actually fully reload your weapon instead. So what happens is, like, when you fire your last shot, you start entering like the reload timing thing where you have to like do the active reload overload thing. If the Backsplash triggers in that time, because it's like the shot's in midair because you just shot your last shot, and then it hits the enemy and triggers the reload, it just instantly reloads your weapon. It's really weird. So against Algus with Backsplash 3, it's pretty much like a constant stream of bullets. Like you never have to reload, which is nice. Yeah, this is just me like testing out the weapon now that I have time to think. So one thing about the Spitmaw that I didn't notice, I noticed I didn't mention. I do mention in my video about weapons. You'll want to zoom in a lot if you're trying to hit enemies that aren't too close, or if you're worried about like things like wide maw. Because if you use the focus, like if you focus your aim by holding down left trigger on the PlayStation or however your button config does it, the spread of the Spitmaw is reduced. So like if you don't zoom in, you have some amount of spread, but if you do zoom in, the spread is reduced always, no matter what your trait is, whether it's Narrow Maw, Slugshot, or Wide Maw. I mean, the slug always goes down the middle, but there are shotgun pieces of the Slugshot. It will focus the aim, and it will be less spread out. So if you're too far away from an enemy and you want to like try to do some damage to them, like you should hold on the left trigger, focus the aim, and start shooting them that way. You can't dash inside this area, so I just carefully weaving around the red beams, grabbing the items I need. Grab the money up here, and then move on. Oh, well, I need the artifact too. Anyway, so the second permanent malfunction I got was hostiles heal on attack. This is a nice one. This is a pretty decent malfunction I can get. It's not really detrimental that much, because usually most enemies are going to die before they hit you. Some enemies might hit you, but it's not a big deal. Enemies die pretty quickly if you focus them down like specifically. So enemies healing on attack, I'd rather have that permanent function than like some of the other ones that you can get. So I'm happy with my permanent malfunctions so far. I love fighting drones because drones are like so easy to get melee kills on. I'm happy when I get the rooms going. Sorry, not drones. Drones are the flying dudes. Tripods. Yeah, sorry. Sometimes I say the wrong things. To me, like, the tripods look like that they would be called drones. You might have just noticed, this isn't something I ever do on purpose, but the enemies I'm fighting now are called drones. Sometimes they have like these missile barrages. Those are interesting attacks because you can actually, yeah, I switch back and forth just to increase my timer, but you can shoot the missile barrages with like a projectile, and it actually blows up the missiles in midair so that they can't hit you. It's not like something I actually use on purpose, but you might have saw earlier, like I shot my shotgun right at the missile barrage, and then like you saw the acid clouds pop in midair. That's because like they blew up against the missiles, which is like one of the only attacks. It might be the only attack that you can do that against drone or frost drone enemies. Neither of these artifacts I care too much about. They're both kind of like some of the weaker artifacts, in my opinion, that you can get in a tower. So I just grab whichever one I think is slightly better, and then move on. Okay, kill the turret, and then try to get another kill on this guy. Yep, an upgrade floor, and this time I already have maxed out attack stats, so you know I can grab a protection stat instead, which is good. I didn't mention it, but the acid cloud trait on my weapon, I don't like it. I just find it, you know, it probably does add damage, like, to an enemy. I don't know how much. Maybe it's actually good, but the problem is, like, from what I can tell, the extra damage isn't noticeable. Maybe it is good. Maybe I'm just not getting a chance. And it's not likely to hit other enemies other than the enemy you're already shooting. Yeah, it's just like it makes an acid cloud, and like no other enemy's gonna get caught in it. And the acid cloud only happens it only seems to happen when you kill the enemy. So basically, like it's not gonna hit any enemy, even the enemy you're attacking, because the acid cloud will only spawn if you kill the enemy with a shotgun. It looks like if you like destroy an object or kill an enemy with a shotgun, then the acid cloud will spawn. So basically, it just does nothing. Yeah, I didn't mean to kill that with my slug shot, but I ended up doing it. Okay, this is a prototype mouse. Yeah, once again I dashed too early, got hit. And now this purple wave, I'm like, what? I expected to disappear before that. Anyway, grab the golden coil, which you will increase my attack by 15% because I have at least 600 money, which is nice. Now my attack is plus 65. 10 from the fractal mail, 15 from the item I just picked up, and then 40 from my stat increases. Grab my key and then go back. Yeah, so right then, I use the blast shell secondary fire from my weapon because it does break shields despite it not telling you it does that. Yeah, like I know the shield breaker secondary fire tells you that it breaks shield, but there's actually I think three other secondary fires besides the shield breaker that can also break shields. One of them is what I just used, the blast shell. One of them is the mine. If you hit the enemy with the mine, it will break the shield. And the other one is the Doombringer, the big ball lightning thing. If you hit them with that, then I think you have to hit them directly with the ball itself, or the explosion of the ball, like the little lightning tendrils that come out don't break shields, I believe. I might be wrong with that. But yeah, so there's actually 4 secondary fires that break shields, despite only one of them telling you so in the description. So it's good to know that. Grab my discorder, grab my resin, grab my health, get another resin shield. Yeah, I still have this parasite that I was forced to take that I didn't want. I don't even remember what the good effect is. I think it's like heals at low target integrity or something, but like as a bad effect, it takes me like 1 extra kill to increase my integrity levels, which like to get from 0 to max integrity, that actually means takes 5 extra kills, so that really sucks. It makes it a lot harder to get to 5, I keep saying integrity, don't I? To get to 5 adrenaline. Yeah, sorry. So the parasite makes it harder to build up my adrenaline. So, and getting to full adrenaline is important because it gives you a free hit, a free shield. I did see that was a Spitmaw. I'll take it and pause. To see what it does. Rapid Spit or Piercing Spit, Critical Stagger, Wide Maw. I elected not to take this one because of the Wide Maw trait, basically. I know eventually, once I get to past floor 5 or past phase 5, wide maw in my head would be a really dangerous trait to have because enemies are gonna start counting on it at that floor or past that floor. So I just think like maybe it is usable, maybe it's still fine because the wide maw does do actually like an unbelievable amount of damage, but I don't really want to be right up to the enemies if I can help it. So we'll start getting some melee kills when I can. Yeah, my multiplier is still, you know, it's not even halfway to max. It's still only 42, but you know, I'm still getting decent points, 100,000 for each one. For getting a melee kill. And these guys, I'll just quickly focus them down. The Gorgoliths. Interesting about the Gorgolith, after they're staggered, they'll run away from you, and if you keep hitting them after they're staggered, they'll just take a flat 1,000 damage. Like you'll see, like they'll like start shaking in pain, and just take 1,000 damage. That's the way for like you to deal with their super high health pool. They get a lot of health. For the basic enemies, they get the most health in the game. They're tied with another. Well, I say basic enemy, like basically non-Algus enemies. They're tied for the most health in the tower, at least. Tied with the Strixia Matriarch, which both have like, I don't remember what the number is, but it's a lot. If you see my enemy video, I cover how much health they have and how much health how much their health increases by each time the level goes up. Like I'm fighting level 6 enemies right now. But yeah, they just have so much health. So like the extra flat 1,000 damage is just how like the game's like the mechanic that the game put in so that you can like exploit that weakness that they have. Whereas a Strixia Matriarch, a flying enemy, like how you deal with their high health is that if you do stagger them, they'll reveal their weak point, which just is like the best weak point in the game because they take so much extra damage from it. So I can buy more protection. You can see I have like a ton of money and I'm not really using it, so I can buy the protection augment. And I think I ignored the health augment because like I'm not worried about my health right now. Yeah, I just keep going. My protection is plus 30% right now. And I think that's entirely coming from stat increases. Yeah, it definitely is. There's nothing else it would be coming from right now. Take the fractal nail. Oh, I thought I already had a okay. Sorry, I noticed earlier that I'm getting 10% extra attack from the fractal nail. I was probably getting it out from the blown out light because as long as you have max HP or low HP, you get 10% extra attack. So now I have the fractal nail, which is giving me 10% extra attack. What the fractal nail does is that if you have a malfunction, it gives you 10% extra attack. And since in the tower, after you kill Alice the first time, at the very least, you're always going to have malfunction. So it's basically just a free plus 10% attack. So it's a good item. You know, 10% isn't huge, but you know, it's free 10%. It's free stat increase, so why not just take it? It's definitely better than some other items that you can get. I actually end up getting an arrow kill on that guy because his health is like perfect amount of lowness, and also he had a shield around him, and breaking the shield does tons of damage. And move on. Right, another forest parasite room. Let's see what we get. Yeah, okay. That one, I think that's the one I end up taking. And then the other one for your kill. Yeah, so I don't want to take damage when holding keys. This one, it only lasts for 15 kills. It increases my speed and attack. And then once it detaches, it will detach itself afterwards. And once it detaches, I lose a large amount of proficiency. But I don't care because my proficiency is max. And if I lose a large amount of proficiency, I'll just build it right back up in like a floor. So it doesn't matter. I take this one because it auto detaches. Basically, it's just like a parasite. It's a good. I mean, it'd be great if the parasite like lasted forever. But I'd rather have no parasite than a bad parasite. So the fact that this parasite will go away on its own is still fine with me. Because the detrimental effect is basically nothing. Yeah, that's the Strixia Matriarch I was talking about that also has a large health pool. So, you know, I'll stagger them, and then I'll shoot the weak point. And if you focus on a weak point, they die right away. If you don't focus on a weak point, they take forever to die. So now I'm allowed to stagger him again. I'll just stagger him real quickly. Zoom in. There, just instantly dies. He takes so much damage from the weak point. Let's see what we have next. Okay, just a potential Disgorger room, which I can't afford. I can't open because I don't have a key. Yep. Okay. I really hate these floors. Like this open, like it's so hard to hide on these floors because it's like surrounded by endless pits, and like you can't put your back to a wall as easily on these floors, which makes it so hard to survive, especially when like later versions of it where really tough enemies start spawning. I'm doing fine right now because the enemy, like the non-tricular enemy, I killed right away. But it's just, you know, it's a scary one that I try to, I'll try to, like, just kill enemies right away on floors like this, and I won't, sometimes, like, if I have to, I won't worry as much about points, because I just need to get past these specific layouts, and then move on. But that went fine, you know, I still have an extra shield, full adrenaline. Okay, this is a money spawning room. So money will drop from the sky in a second. Grab it. And just grab as much as I can. See how much I get. Alright, so I got like 125, 137, there we go. Alright, see what item I get. Power Shell Caster, that's actually the next weapon. Power Shell is the next weapon on my codex. So that would be the next weapon I'd use for my next playthrough. And I think Power Shell can be really, really effective if you have the right traits, so I think that'll be fun. Alright, another full heal room with a shield. I'll have to pop the shield I currently have. Grab a new one. And move on. Getting close to fighting phase 3 of Algus. One, two, three, four. Yeah, when I killed the Lamiodon, it actually hit both of them, so... It's 4 hits to kill the towers, because again, your attack, you can't stagger the tower, so you won't get the extra stagger damage, but they have 200... Those towers are one of the 2 enemies in the towers that never increase their health. Sorry, those healing towers are one of the 2 enemies in the tower Sisyphus that will never get increased health, even when they level up. So, like, the 200 health they have, the 200 health they'll always have no matter when you meet them, and since your melee attack does 60 damage, it's 4 hits if you start meleeing them from full health to kill them. Which is why a lot of times you'll see me shoot them a bit. Assuming my weapon is weak enough to not just one hit kill them, you might see me just... Yeah, I didn't know that guy was still there. You might see me just shoot them a bit and then go up to them and melee them to just get the kill that way. Yeah, I'm looking at the item I just got because I just wanted to make sure I knew what it was. Yeah, you saw there, I was trying to hit it with half of my shotgun shots so that it wouldn't die in one hit. It ended up dying one hit anyway. So I didn't get the points. Yeah, the dog enemies are can be pretty frustrating because they very often the waste Kerberonics, like the waste Kerberonics is what I was just fighting, I believe, and the basic Kerberonics can spawn with shields, and then I believe the frost Kerberonic can never spawn with shields. I might be wrong about that. I might be wrong about that order. I believe there's one type of Kerberonics that never spawns with the shield, and I believe it's the frost Kerberonics. But the waste and the regular Kerberonics can both spawn with shields. So when I say Kerberonics, I mean like the bigger dog enemies, not the smaller dog enemies, which are called Kerberon. Anyway, here we are, Algus again. I still have the same weapon I had last time, but this weapon really shredded through Algus, mainly because like the Rapid Spitter paired with the Black Splash, which is like look at that health. It goes down so quickly. And yeah, there's an instant reload again. Again, like it's a weird glitch, but it's I guess because you're getting 1 extra ammo back during the reload time, it's just interpreting that as like a good reload, and you just get the ammo back right away. So you know, I'll take it. So that's already 2 phases down, and now the 3rd phase. Yeah. The reason why I'm shooting into the air and just instantly reloading is because I have the artifact that decreases secondary fire cooldown by 3 seconds every time I overload my weapon. So I just did that so that I can get my blast shell back in time for you know when this guy is damaged, when this guy's health bar period again. Yep. I'll keep shooting at it periodically while I'm doing this. I want to focus on running quickly so that I don't get hit by it as well. I'll shoot it periodically to make sure my multiplier doesn't go down. And that's it. Took him out. You know, I took some hits, but overall that fight went fine. Jump a bit here. Hostiles leave pools of acid upon death. This is one of the there's like three, I think. There's three permanent malfunctions other besides the last permanent malfunction, which is always enemies counter on hit. So if you ignore that one, there's 3 other permanent malfunctions I always hope I don't get in a run, which is possible not to get any of them. This is one of them. Hostiles leave pools of acid upon death. The acid pools don't do that much damage, but the problem about not doing that much damage is that you're still doing some damage, which means it will eat you through your shield. And because you want to kill enemies with melee, you're often like you melee an enemy like right next to the acid pool that they leave. So like at this point, like what's really important to do, which I kind of do a lot anyway, but what you're gonna have to focus more on doing now, if you want to make sure you avoid the acid pool, is just melee them and dash away instantly before you touch the ground, because you're meleeing them in midair, and you will take damage from the acid pool if you touch the ground. It's just like a frustrating thing, and the acid pool lasts a long time. Like you like see, I just ran over it because it was still there, and I just not paying attention there. I jumped on top of that one because like, yeah, I'm playing pretty badly, but grabbed it, hit it again. Yeah. So another problem with the acid pool is like sometimes it spawns right where the items that the enemy drops are left. So like you kind of have to slowly walk up to it to grab the item without touching the acid pool, which is frustrating. Luckily these towers don't leave acid pools. There's a Mycomorph. Hit him a few times with my shotgun, do the extra damage, and then finish him off. Looking for another one. There we go. 1, 2. Yep, that one ended up dying, so couldn't get the extra points. That's right. Okay, so alright, another forced parasite room. Yeah, we'll definitely not take that one. Repair efficiency reduced by 30%. Now, I'd much rather this one, even though the down effect on that one is awful. Repair efficiency reduced by 30%. I think this is when my run starts going downhill. Reducing repair efficiency can be pretty terrible. It can kind of have a snowballing effect, because being at max integrity makes it really easy to get resonant shield. Because when you're at max integrity, any health the enemy drops will give you shield, basically, if you don't already have one. But now, and I'm taking a lot of hits too, which isn't helping. Now that I'm damaged, health drops will heal me for a lot less, which means it's going to take a lot longer. Like 30% is a lot. It's going to take a lot longer to get to max health, which means it's going to take a lot longer to get a shield item, which means hits are going to keep hitting me for hitting my health, which means like I'm just going to be in like this dance of trying to heal myself back to full, but not quite getting there, and then keep taking damage, which means I'll never get free blocked hits because of being like having a resonant shield. So it's really annoying to have repair efficiency. So like I'm really hoping that I'm gonna get like a way to get rid of my malfunctions, or not my malfunctions, my parasites soon, because I can tell like I'd rather get rid of both my parasites. Like I want them gone, and I'm looking to like get some good parasites soon that increase my defense, but I haven't found any yet. Because like I'm starting to get high enough in the tower where like my defense is gonna end up being a problem. That's a really good artifact. That's one of the better artifacts in my opinion. Melee kills increase my speed and protection by 25%. And since you get melee kills, it lasts 6 seconds. Oh yeah, I popped Discorder. Since you get melee kills so often, especially in certain rooms, you're running around with a ton of extra protection. So that's a really good one. Yeah, so I like to kill the guy behind me first because again, he's already damaged enough to start shooting purple type shots. This guy's using the blue shots, so like I can ignore him for a while. Now that I'm ready to kill him, I will just quickly kill him. Didn't realize that the prototype ops was there. Grab that health. You saw how little that healed me for. And that was like a medium-sized health item. So like the 30% decrease on the healing efficiency is really annoying. Open the door, grab another Discorder. Move on. What do we have? This is a... Okay, yeah. So you'll see me do a trick here. I'll go for the left one to get the Discorder. And then if you're quick, you can leave right away and then grab another door. The idea here is that once you walk through the barrier, all 3 doors start going up. But I don't end up taking this anyway, but you can still do what I did to like get to the 3 rooms that you're able to get. Each room like that has like those 3 hallways has like a set way the doors are going to go up. Depending on what items they are, like that, the layout of items there was Disgorger Weapon Artifact. That layout, the layout for Disgorger Weapon Artifact, I just know is that the left door will go up last. Well, okay, I'll go in different order. The middle door goes up first, the right door goes up second, and the left door goes up last. I just know that for that specific layout of that room. So I know I can go for the left door first, grab my Disgorger, leave, and then the easiest one to go for is the right door. And then go for the rightmost door and see if I get a good artifact. Now, I didn't in that case, but, you know, it's worth trying. If you're quick, you can. If you're quick, I think you can do that for pretty much any combination of that room, where the doors go up in different. Because the doors always go up in a different order, depending on what the layout of the room is. I just know that like the Disgorger Weapon Artifact room, the doors go up in that order. And I believe that if the Disgorger is present, which might be always, I believe the Disgorger door always goes up first. So you should, I believe, so you should always go for the Disgorger room. The Disgorger room first if you're planning on going for 2 items. Anyway, that was a pretty quick 4. Right, okay. So, yeah, there are the flying enemies. These are the frost drones. You can tell the difference between frost drones and regular drones because the regular drones look really damaged, and the frost drones look like they're well made, and they're not like falling apart like the regular drones are. Taking a lot of damage here. Yeah, these guys are a little annoying to have in melee, but I got it. And now I need to finish this guy off. See how quickly he died, because my weapon is good. Like, it's doing a lot of damage. And yeah, luckily he gave me a full heal, which is actually only like a 70% heal because of my bad parasite, but like I got enough heal items from him that I guess I still got me full health, so that's nice. So now I do have a resonant shield. Grab my protection augment. And then see what, yeah, looking at how high my protection is. My protection is 50, my weapon damage, yeah, I'm looking at my parasites too. My weapon damage is 75, but my weapon damage is 75 only because I'm at full health. If I wasn't at full health, it would be 65. Let's see what I got. Another Spitmaw, but this one I'm not going to take it because it doesn't have Rapid Spitter. Its stats are maxed out, which is nice. And it does have Explosive Spit, which I quite like. Like, I would much rather have Explosive Spit over Acid Cloud. I think it's a much better ability. Although I don't think they take up the same. I don't believe that they're the same tier, so I think you can actually have both. But it doesn't have Rapid Spitter, and like for like focusing down, yeah. I was like, screw this. I'm not gonna deal with all of them enemies, so I just use a grenade and kill them. I end up losing a lot of leaving a lot of points on the table by doing that, but. One, it was satisfying to just be able to use a grenade and kill all of those at the same time, and two, like, I just, like, the Aetheract enemies tend to fly really high up and really hard in melee anyway, so I'll just, like, screw it. I'll just take them off. Gotta deal with these Severed. Yeah, Severed, sometimes Severed drop, like, 100 Obolites. I didn't pick them all up there, but because of the Acid Cloud, which is another thing, it just makes it hard to pick up, like, anything. See, like, dropped a ton of Obolites, which I'm not picking them all up because I don't want to get too close to the Acid Cloud. But sometimes Sever just do that, and sometimes they don't. I don't understand it. All right, let's see what I got now. 1 fear kill. Okay, so I actually prefer the left parasite. 1 fear kill required to increase adrenaline. Normally, I would take the right one, which is pretty much 20% increased damage. And the down effect was malfunctions have hard to fix requirements, but that doesn't usually matter because most malfunctions I get are permanent malfunctions, which can't be fixed anyway. But in this case, I'm taking the left one because I'm trying to out like wow, this is like horribly. I keep expecting my shotgun to kill them faster. It's just not. Anyway, I have another parasite that increases how many kills I need to increase adrenaline, so I'm trying to, counteract that by taking the one that reduces it, and so basically now it takes me, once again, 3 kills to get an adrenaline level, so it's just back to normal, which is why I ended up going for that one to just sort of balance out the bad parasite I had. and getting hit a ton. I did really badly this floor. I took a ton damage. My protection isn't great, and it's like I don't have a single protection increasing parasite. So like I'm just relying on, and like not having protection parasite when you're using weapons that don't increase your protection. Like 3 weapons have ways to increase your protection. 4 weapons actually. The carbine, the globber. Is that what it's called? There's no way that's what it's called. I forgot what it's called. The poison like grenade launcher thing. The electro pylon and the dreadbound can all have ways of increasing protection. The most straightforward one is the carbine because it just plainly increases your protection if you have the right trait. Anyway, if you don't have weapons that can do that, then like you really want to hope for. Yeah, good job, me. You really want to hope for protection increasing parasites so that you can like start like mitigating decent amounts of damage. Like look at what just happened to me. I just took so much because of that prototype ops. I ended up popping a shield, which I just lost again. So now you see what I'm doing here. Every single time I get hit, and I'm doing a really bad job, every single time I get hit, I'm popping one of the shields I have so that I can make sure that I always have a shield active, because pretty much most hits at this point are just going to kill me. So I'm only popping one shield at a time because like if I don't want to use them all up, because like what if I get a full heal or something between them and I won't have to keep popping shields afterwards. But yeah, so I'll grab my Discorder and then I'll move on. Yeah, I did heal back up to green health, but because of one of my parasites, but it's not great because at this protection stat, like I'm pretty sure I'll still die in one hit. Got one of my shields back, so I have 3 shields and 1 shield currently 3 shield items and 1 currently active shield. So basically, like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep using them as I need them until like my health is high enough, if it ever gets back high enough, that I don't have to worry about getting killed in one hit. My protection isn't great, and yeah, I need the shields to absorb hits. Go through here, get my money, and see what the artifact is. I have most of the artifacts I would want, so the like there's not. There is one more artifact I would want. Is this it? No. Well, sorry, 2 more. Murmuring Cocoon is a good one. I mean, Murmuring Cocoon just makes positive effects of parasites. Most of the positive effects, not all of them. Even better, but it doesn't work on parasites you already have. So like if you pick up the parasite before you pick up the Murmuring Cocoon, they don't get better. But any parasites I find after this point, as soon as I decide which item to dump, will be slightly better. So I dump one item, I grab the Murmuring Cocoon, and I move on. Yeah. So this Spitmaw is actually pretty high DPS. Oh god. Yeah, I don't want that one. Yeah, I'd rather increase my max health, which isn't going to do much for me because my health is, like, I'm not even close to my max health, and then take damage from long falls. That can be easily mitigated. As long as you dash before you hit the ground, then you're not going to take any damage. Anyway, yeah, you can see, you're probably noticing, like, my rapid, my Spitmaw actually does, like, very good, yeah, didn't block the shots there. It does very good damage. Had to use the shield. But I'm still not doing great in this run. I don't think that's the Spitmaw's fault. I think it's like a me thing that I'm not doing well this run. I think this weapon's actually quite good. It's not that I'm doing badly. It's just like I'm at like a danger point at this point. Like I keep using up my shield. That Malformed Kerbronyx has the counter projectiles on hit trait, which I didn't know. Took another hit. Now I use my last shield. Now I have no shield and no healing items, and now I just lost my last shield right then. So now at this point I pop my Discorder because I'm like, okay, if I get hit one more time, it's likely gonna die. Like I don't have time to worry about like trying to be conservative with my Discorders, trying to see how many like aerial kills I can get. I just need to like hurry up and deal with these enemies. So like now that this is the only guy left, I feel somewhat comfortable just taking him on one-on-one. Hoping he drops a health. He doesn't drop a health. He dropped a Discorder. Look, yeah, you see me switching back and forth a ton between the weapons again. Again, that's just to refresh my cooldown to be able to leave the room and then leave. So yeah, I'm at a health range that some enemy attacks will one-hit me. So that's kind of scary, and I have no way to heal myself right now. So I pop a Discorder right away. Nice thing about Discorders this I don't really like this Discorder particularly because the recoil on it is huge, and it takes a while for the damage to become focused. Anyway, the +1 Discorder has like one shot that goes down the middle. I popped one again, and then it has like 2 ring shots, like 2 shots that go like around the perimeter where you're aiming. But to hit, oh, actually, I think it has actually, yeah. Sorry, the way the +1 Discorder works is that there has 4. None of them go down the middle. It has 4 bullets. Two of them are the orange ones that like sort of go around where you're aiming, and then the 2 red ones also go around where you're aiming. But as you hold on the trigger, it focuses more until the red ones are like down the sights of your item, of your thing. The thing about it is that the recoil is so high, it's really actually hard to keep your aim focused on what you're trying to hit. Plus, it takes a while for it to even get to that point because you have to wait. You have to hold down for a while. So, like in this case, I still popped it. It's still useful because it breaks shields, which all Discorders do. And the reason why I was popping Discorders and things like that is because like I don't want to die. Basically, like I'm at the point where like I can't be picky about trying to get like maximum points. I need to kill enemies. Anyway, this is the first this is called like Algus like Infinity form, I believe. This is the first version of it. I thought like this is the version of Algus I'll be fighting for the rest of the tower as long as they don't die. The 4th time and after the 4th time you fight Algus, it's always the same one. It just has more health and damage every single time you meet them again. But they only get 1 health bar, but it's a much chunkier health bar than the previous times. So yeah, okay. So I got another permanent malfunction, reduced max integrity, which is great. I love that permanent malfunction. It's pretty much a free one because if you were at 300 and you got this malfunction, 300 HP and you got this malfunction to reduce maximum integrity, then you can just upgrade your integrity again to get back to 300. So very good permanent malfunction. Like one I would definitely prefer to get. Finally, I found a large health vial. Normally by this point in the tower, I find many more of these. I just got a little bit unlucky this time, unfortunately. Still, my healing proficiency is down 30%, so they don't even heal me all that much. But, you know, at least I have, like, enough health that I'm pretty sure I can survive most attacks right now, so I don't end up popping my shield yet. And more parasite rooms. Let's see if I got a good one this time. Discount and triggers malfunction. Increase protection by 15. And, okay, so this is actually a good one. So hostiles leave pools of acid upon death. They're already doing that, so it doesn't actually matter. And it's actually plus 20% protection because I had the Murmury Cocoon. So finally, a good parasite, like a very good parasite. My protection still isn't that high, but like plus 20% is definitely gonna make a difference at this. Like until I get much higher in the tower, like 20% is enough to make it. So like I think like almost nothing can one-shot me at this much health at this point. Maybe like some of the melee attacks from the harder enemies might be able to do it, but for the most part, I think I'm safe from like plenty of kills. And you can see I healed a bit there, so like now I'm pretty much guaranteed not to die in 1 hit. Coil Spawn Shredder, can't take that. Tachyomatic Carbine, can't take that. So the progenitor egg, I would definitely rather take it. I'm still hoping that I'll be able to detach my parasites sometime soon. Which if I do that, it'll be a lot of health I get for doing that. I just have to decide which item I want to get rid of. Gaining or fixing malfunction repairs integrity. Now that might seem like a weird one to get rid of because I'm forced to get a malfunction every time I fight Algus. But the thing is, I'm almost at max malfunctions. After fifth malfunctions, everything after that's a critical malfunction, and I don't believe critical malfunctions trigger their healing from that artifact, so I just get rid of it. Yeah. But like healing upon getting a malfunction is you know, it's okay, and it's good to get if you're not confident on the earlier floors, on the earlier phases of the tower, because like you will at least heal every time you kill Algus. At least because of the permanent malfunction that Algus gives you. It's been a lot here. Yeah, so I ended up using all my shield and health items. Like, yeah, so badly. I should have probably just popped a Discorder so I could take out the shields from a distance. Not doing great. Luckily, I mean, unfortunately at this distance, yeah, I got hit there. At this distance, I'm not like only my slug is doing any reliable damage. Like my actual shotgun parts of my shotgun attack aren't doing that much damage from this distance. So I really need like the slug to be hitting. Yeah, that 4 went really badly. I lost a lot of health, and I had to use my healing item, and I had to use my shield item. So you saw, I didn't mean to kill that guy. I meant to kill that guy with the melee hit, but you saw for the shield towers, like at this point, I'm in like survival mode, not point mode. So I'm just all I'm doing is I'm shooting them in the weak point because I got a few extra points for doing that. But I'm not focusing it in area melee kill. So I am leaving some points on the table, but at least I'm getting a few extra points for hitting the weak point. By killing them. You have to kill them by hitting the weak point. So I pop my Discorder before I come back. 1 for the extra protection, and 2 to just hopefully deal with enemies quickly. If I can find them. It does break shields again, so that's good if I can see, like, at least, even if I'm not killing the dogs from a distance, their shields are now broken, so, like, I don't have to, like, risk going right up to them to kill them. Yep, so in my video I was in like a video I made earlier about I think it was when I did this playthrough with the sidearm. I was pretty hard on this Discorder, the quad zone Discorder. I still think it's the worst of the 4 Discorders, but it can still be pretty good. 1, because the DPS is very high if you can keep training enemies, and 2, it does again just break shields. Like every Discorder does that, but that still is a useful trait to just be able to break shield. Especially on like dog heavy rooms. It's good to just be able to like break all the shields, and then like going forward you don't have to run up to everyone. Alright, here's a room I can get some health on. I believe I like to go for the health on this one, so I'll grab the money here. Can't take that because I'm at full proficiency, and then grab the health. I think I stay here. Yeah. I'll stay here and grab the extra little health here. It is very little, especially because my repair efficiency is still bad. But, you know, it's a little bit extra health, and then I move on. Next up we have, just an obstacle room. Get a shield item, which I'm very grateful for. Yeah, accidentally pressed the photo mode button. I've been rocking this Spitmaw for a while. I'm like hoping for like a golden Spitmaw. You know, my ideal Spitmaw would at least have backsplash 3, rapid split 3, and either narrow maw or slug shot. You know, which mine is pretty close to having. Well, actually, I think it has exactly what I just said, but I forgot what the 4th trait can be. One of them can be acid clouds, but I forgot what the other one is. I believe the other one is better, whatever it is. I just don't remember what it does. But then, in addition to that, I'd rather not have the blast shell secondary fire that I have now. It is a blast shell 3, so you know that's good. But again, the blast shell, yeah. I was like not dealing with those guys. Unfortunately, I wasn't smart here. I should have waited a little bit longer before killing these last guys, because you'll notice in a second, now there's nothing to shoot, and now I'm waiting for these guys to spawn as my multiplier is going to start going down. But anyway, yeah. Blast shell along with the mine, like I said earlier, like, you know, weapons have their own damage stat, which as it increases, clearly you do more damage, and that increases the damage of all your secondary fires, except for the mine and except for blast shell. So what's weird about like blast shell 3 is that it does do good damage, but for some reason it like, whereas like a Doombringer will do more damage the higher the damage stat is of your weapon, the blast shell doesn't. So like as you get higher in the tower, having blast shell 3 is less and less important, because like eventually your weapon's damage stat is going to be maxed out and it won't do more damage. Now it'll still do more damage from Celine's like permanent stat increase items that you get. It will do more damage because of that, but you know, I'm just leaving some potential damage increases on the table there because it doesn't work against everything. It's just very strange that it doesn't. Yeah, so I activated a shield here because I'm very close to dying. Kill the Trixian Matriarch here. There we go. And then get this melee kill and move on. Oh, sorry, now move on. 72%, 72 multiplier on the right, which is nice. Getting close to 100, which is nice. I think I actually buy the integrity upgrade here, which normally I wouldn't bother, but an integrity upgrade also heals you for a bit, so I do it mainly for that. So there, get some health back. See what I get. Okay, successful overloads cause weapons to break shield for 6 seconds. I really want that because Spitmaw overload so often. So let's see what I kind of sort of like most of my artifacts at this point, so I have to think for a second what I want to get rid of. I actually forgot what I chose. Definitely nothing that has a potential increased protection or damage. Probably this one, reducing all 5 cooldown by 1 second per adrenaline level, which, you know, normally I like it, but I'm having so much trouble getting to max adrenaline anyway. It's not reducing my cooldown all that much. And alt fire cooldown reduction is good, but it's not like completely necessary. So yeah, get rid of that and then grab this so I can break shields more easily. Another Spitmaw. I'm definitely not going to take that one. I do like the explosive spit, but the explosive spit replaces it replaces what does it I think it replaces rapid spitter actually. I believe. So yeah, I can't take it. Well, I picked it up for a second, but then I switched back because I much prefer the one I already have. Even though my stats aren't maxed out on this one, and I really wish they were, I still think the traits make up for it. Yeah. So, get the melee kills while I can, before like these two separate spawn in. And there they are. That guy instantly comes out the gate swinging, and now I have to be way more careful, although I'm still kind of trying to get my melee kills with 2 severed running around now, which is really dangerous. I do have 1 shield, so I would absorb 1 hit, but like, look at these bullets just like are everywhere there. I lost my shield right there. So yeah, I really need to deal with the severed. I really should have started focusing the severed after they showed up. Even if I elected not to kill the Strixia enemies right away, I just let them keep shooting. The Strixia enemies' attacks are easier to like just hide behind than the severed, which are really aggressive and teleport all over the place. So I should just like focus on, yeah, a shotgun attack hit me unfortunately. Yeah, but now it's just me and the severed, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. There we go. And dodge for a second. Finish him off. See what he drops. No health. Move on. I'm really hoping for one of those heal floors. This floor is okay because it forces resin, which gives me an extra shield, so that's good, I guess, but not super useful. Oh yeah, here I actually picked this up and I start breaking the eggs because it has adrenaline discs, and adrenaline disc has it has adrenaline disc 3, I believe, and adrenaline disc 3 has a very high chance of giving you adrenaline for killing an enemy. Now, for hitting an enemy, not even killing them. Now, the nice thing about this is that it also works on destructible objects, like these eggs. Now you might say I'm cheating, I'm using a different weapon. I don't care. I'm not using it to fight any enemies, and I'm not going to leave the floor with it. So I picked it up, I get a little bit of extra adrenaline, and then I grab my Spitmaw back, and then I'll continue on. Okay. Go through these turrets before I go for the pylon, and I'm just really hoping, please let me give me a parasite sale room. Now a parasite sale room would have a chance of selling my increased protection, but I'd still rather have that because I need to dump some of these parasites. Like the repair efficiency one and the increased amount of kills I need to increase my adrenaline are a problem. And I'm also, I think I'm at 4 parasites, so I'm close to max parasites anyway. Which at that point I'm not going to be able to choose. I'm going to start losing parasites anyway when I find new ones. So I'd rather get rid of them now and just get rid of. If I have to get rid of all of them, I will. But if I can just get rid of the bad ones and get lucky, I'd rather do that than just have than to get to the point where like I start replacing good parasites with bad parasites. Yeah. So I popped the Scourge right away. This is something I started doing a little more often recently because. Leaving those pylon rooms is just really dangerous, so I pop the Scourge before I leave the pylon room, and then I use it to like make the room much more easier to deal with upon return, so I just don't get completely swarmed and die right away. Yeah, those health pickups normally heal you way more, just not right now. Not with my repair efficiency this low. So there's one Gorgo down. And there's the other one. Alright, what do we have next? Discord room. 33 million points, you know, I'm pretty happy with this, like, for not having used this weapon for a long time. Like, I think this run's, I think I'm doing, you know, not completely terrible. Yeah, kill this guy. Really, I need to be quick here because, yeah, again, this is that room layout that I really hate. So I just popped the Scourge and I'm like, you know what, let's just kill stuff. I don't want to die here. So like my thought process was good, but like I lost all my shields already, and now I'm taking actual damage. You see how much damage I'm taking? Jesus. There. Oh god. I'm at a one-hit territory, and then boom, died. Yeah. So let me just look at that again. So here, right there, I just lost my shield, and this is where my damage starts. Just really there. This is one hit. Took like about 25% of the health I had left, maybe a little more. There's another one. And then here I'm like, oh shit, I really need to be careful. Let me hide behind this pillar. And then that red ring comes through the pillar and just takes me out. Yeah, pretty a funny way to go. But it is what it is, so yeah. So here we can continue. This is me just respawning after I die. But still, you know, I'm pretty satisfied with that run. I did alright, and I think I showcased the weapon to, you know, to a degree. And then, like I said, here you'll see me checking what the next weapon is going to be. Well, first I'll check my high score. Or my score, I should say. I know I have 33 million. I just like to see the breakdown every now and then. So, weak point kills 31, melee kills 276, and hostiles eliminated 373. Now, those melee kills don't differentiate between... Oh, actually, mid-air melee, 266. So out of the 276 melee kills I got, 266 of them were in midair, so that's good. I mean, it means I'm mostly jumping to do them. And then, yeah, I think I should check right away. I already said it's Pirate Shell Caster, but let me check again. And, yep, Pirate Shell Caster's next. And after that, you know, we'll move on past Pirate Shell Caster and go on after that. But for now, you know, thanks so much for watching, and hope you look forward to the next one. Bye.